Hello, everybody. We are Chaos Chorus. You are Chaos Chorus. And this is Encounter Roleplay on a Tuesday. Buckets, hedgehogs, bread. I think it's nearly time for a finale of Pendragon'S Parish. But before we get into that, let's go around, see how everyone's doing this week. Let's hear the complaints for the week. Everyone get yours lined up. It is that time when we hear complaints. And I'm going to drop down to the wonderful Laugh Love Lindy, who I will never ever complain about.
Aw, shucks, Charlie. I'm very happy to be here. I'm excited to put on the bonnet for Aethelfrith one last time. Hopefully not because I die, but because this is the finale. And if I do die, we gotta get that. I gotta, get that smooch in. So, buns, I'm ready to go.
From a French stick to a French kiss. Susanna Grace, what are your complaints today?
That's
You're married to a French Canadian.
Okay, yeah, all right, okay. No, it was a good segue. I'm giving you it. My complaint is that it's very fucking hot. It was 95% humidity last night. I am the human soup. I am disgusting. Don't look too close. And I lost a lot of treasure yesterday on Sea of Thieves, and I'm still very upset about it. But I'm very excited to get my hot buns for the day, get my smooch from Aethelfrith, and hopefully not die, because I did get a very good sword last week.
From one salty sea wench to another, Amelia Tyler.
Tiger. Hello. Best segue ever.
Hello.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I'm so proud. Hi, my complaint is similar. It is too bloody hot, and why do I always pick wiggy characters for the summer? It just bad life choices past Millie. Yeah, it's been an interesting week, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes today. I haven't got a slippery fish this week, so what's left in the bag? Oh God, what did we put in the bag? I'm going to check my notes. This is terrifying.
Skipping over Will, so from getting wiggy with it to getting jiggy with it, it's Tom.
Okay, cool.
Na.
Hey. Yeah, welcome to the absolutely super duper serious Call of Cthulhu. I intended it to be incredibly serious, and I felt that it's kept that morbid, very serious line throughout the entire show. No deviations whatsoever. I think we've been all nailing it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Really
what Tom is saying is that feel free to reuse that intro on a different show. This is a great intro.
Pretty much, yeah. My complaint is my hair's getting too long and frizzy. It's warm. Yeah, it's just warm, but it's just horrid, sticky warm. It's gross. It's horrible. Yeah. That's it.
From back to me, I'm going to hand over to Past Charlie so she can tell us all about our wonderful sponsors who are not here on Encounter Roleplay. Past Charlie here to tell you about a few of our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds is our virtual tabletop of choice, providing us access to roles, tokens, maps, and more. You can try it today for free at fantasygrounds.com. While you're there, why not check out Fantasy Grounds Unity? World Anvil is a remarkable resource, whether you're a writer, GM, or player, organizing your campaign notes or building an entire world. Get forging today for free at worldanvil.com. And before we get into today's game, we'd like to shout out our friends at Andrews McMeel Publishing, who published the wonderful game Zweihander. If you haven't checked that out, you can catch it here on Wednesdays. We'd also like to mention Modifius, who manage and produce a wide range of RPGs. Whether you feel like being Dishonored, exploring a tale from the loop, or boldly going with Star Trek adventures, why not check out Modifius.com.
This is.
And I counted the subs and retweets.
Oh,
Thank you so
God.
much to Spigot2 for that sub, and to JTRex2249. This is what your money pays for. You're welcome. Tom, let's talk about Call of Cthulhu.
How the fuck am I supposed to follow that? I mean, oh.
What's happening today?
I don't know. All right. See, now I'm unprepared now because of that. That just threw me completely. All right. You all okay now? All ready to start? No? Okay.
Born ready.
Okay, here we go. Episode 5, the finale. An eerie still hangs over the scene. No wind, no animals, no sound. Just an unnatural stillness. A single figure stands in the distance, still, unmoving. 5 grotesque scarecrows decorate the frozen field. Lady Alice, you are out of the hole, covered head to foot in this grotesque, gloopy, almost somewhat glue-like substance, the saliva, whatever the creature was below, has just covered you in it. The taste, it tastes quite, it's kind of irony with a hint of salt, and it is just absolutely covered in you. You feel exhausted. Everyone is around you, and although you didn't see what happened, Susanna's the only one to come up from the hole.
Oh, well, that's just... Are they busy doing something, or...
They're dead.
Coming? Oh.
They're dead.
Oh. Oh, terribly sorry. That sounds horrid.
Should we keep going? Head back to the village. It's going to be dark soon.
Well, if there's any way we could, I mean, yes, I suppose. If it wouldn't be too much trouble to find a pond or something along the way, you know, can't be gloopy for hubby.
I hand her a handkerchief.
Oh, thanks awfully. That's little.
It should at least get your face. Yeah.
Is that better? It doesn't feel better.
It's a work in progress.
Right. I'll just. Oh gosh. Oh.
Somehow I don't think he'll
that...
mind much, Lady Alice.
No. They said he was all about pretty things and gold, and this isn't gold.
Thorn, you are by the father who is still laying still, unconscious. You're not sure what's wrong with him. You're not sure if he's even still breathing.
I'll bend down and I'll put my ear right close to his mouth, just in case I can hear anything. And in my head, I'm saying, "Our Father who art in heaven, I'm sorry to message you again. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Lady Alice too, I promise she's on her way. Please look after our father, our other father, who's also our brother. Don't ask, I'm confused as well. He's in a bother.
Okay.
Let me feel his breath upon my cheek if he does live."
As you do that, you hear a kind of small cough, and this gloopy substance that he's covered in just splat the side of your cheek.
I don't know what that says, Father, but I'll take it. Father, you're alive!
He's still unconscious, but there does seem to be small breaths coming from him.
I'll wipe my cheek, because gross. And I'm going to look and see if I can drag the father to a better location. Because there was a beastie boy around here.
What kind of location are you looking for? I mean, better location how? Like a drier location, or just away from the
drier,
hole?
warmer would be nice. Away from the hole, always a plus.
Roll me a natural world, then see if you can.
Everyone be proud. I remember to open my character sheet this week. Nailed it. All right, natural world. Here we go. Slash die. Death to my enemies. 1d100. That is a success.
Okay.
I think it's a hard success.
That's okay. You remember there was a big cluster of fern trees not too far. You think if you can pull him through under those, the canopy underneath them is probably going to be quite protected against the elements. Relatively dry, maybe even a little warmer than that's out here. It's not far.
All the muscles I've been working on being a good squire for Sasana, and I'm gonna up under his arms and drag him, apologizing the whole way, trying to avoid the lumpy bits.
Okay.
And I will call for Rambo, who should be somewhere about, to go and tell Sasana that we're fine.
All right. Roll me a strength, please.
Oh, good. I'm super strong. I'm actually not too weak.
Yeah,
all right, 55 is my target. 75, nailed it.
All right. You tell Rambo to do that, and Rambo kind of goes and just starts running towards Sasana. And you grip around, and you start pulling and pulling and pulling, and you're slowly doing it, but it's exhausting to the point you have to stop, take a deep breath.
Father,
and you go,
Benedictus, if you could lay off the sacraments in the future, would really help.
So you continue trying to pull. Sasana, you're still by the hole, and Rambo kind of comes up to you, jumps up onto your shoulder, and you turn, and not too far away from you, but you see Thorn really struggling. It's if that, just struggling with the father, trying to get into this group of trees. Thorn is really struggling.
Sasana has been kneeling. She's been doing a little prayer for Osric. And as Rambo hops upon her shoulder, much like I've had an actual squirrel at my window all day today, she looks across, looks at Thorn, and just chuckles a little bit to herself just to see Thorn struggling so much to lift the father before she turns to Aethelfrith and says, "Can you give us a hand with the father? We need to move him back to the town."
Yes, of course. And she finishes her prayer for the alderman because, she's like, who's gonna do the ruling now? She's just like, okay, and heads off. That's a problem for the rest of the village and not her right this moment. And she'll just kind of let me help you out and lift up Father.
I got it. But if you don't mind, his feet do have nice shoes.
Oh, not at all. Yeah.
Okay, so you both lifting?
I do most of the lifting.
Okay.
So that Thorn
Between
doesn't.
the two of you, even though Aethelfrith is doing the most of the lifting, you don't need to roll. It's easy enough to do. Where would you like to go? Are you still heading towards that cluster of trees?
Look to Sasana.
Yeah, I think the goal is just to get back as quickly as possible at this point. Unless there's anything else anybody wanted to do here or anything else they'd spotted was suspicious.
I guess about 10. Maybe we should light a fire or something. Keep the devil away from this place. And warn people, because there's owls.
Why would the devil be frightened of fire? Doesn't your other like that?
I don't know. The Bible said that the flame would cleanse our sins. But I guess the devil is impervious, for he is made. I don't know how this works. This is above my. Father, wake up! We got questions. Father.
If he doesn't wake up, I'll ask my darling when I meet him.
I think that would be good. I still think we should leave a little note of some description, a marker Maybe. I'm out of walking sticks, though.
Santa pulls out her old sword.
We can leave a
has
trail of breadcrumbs.
The sword of sin, and she spears her old sword into the ground as a marker.
All right.
There we go.
Okay, you crunch it down, and it just stands there.
Wait, where's the other man? It made sense occasionally.
You didn't make it, Thong.
The beast will claim the greatest amongst us. May he do epic battle in purgatory and his name not be forgotten. I'll work on the rest of this speech on the way back to the village. I can see that you're wanting me to hurry up.
A little bit, and maybe cut out that bit about purgatory, because that's not where you want to go. He gave himself in sacrifice.
It's an important step on the way to heaven.
Is that how he would have wanted to go?
Cuddling a beast covered in goop.
In a big hole, yes.
I think that's between him and God. But you can always ask your husband. He does hear things.
Oh, yes. I'm sure he would know about it.
Maybe check in. Give a good word.
Right. Okay. Cuddling a beast in a hole. And, oh, there was something else. Drat. Oh, I'll remember when I get there, I'm sure.
All right. Are we all ready to go?
Were we ever?
Hey, who's leading?
I'll lead, seeing as our tracker's fucking dead.
All right, roll a navigate for me, please.
Oh, does it have to be navigate?
Yep.
Fuck. We're gonna get lost, fam. Actually, do you know what? I've got 4 crits. Let's use one of them.
I was saying that, but I was muted. Then I realized I was muted, but you figured it out.
You roll. You can do natural 20 or a crit. You remember the path that you went from the village to this place. The sun is basically almost down now. Night is creeping, and you continue along your way. As you're walking, you can hear a faint trickle of water nearby as you're kind of weaving in between the trees. It's slow going, having to carry Father Benedictus, particularly because of how
He's
cold.
not that heavy.
You're all I mean, you're pretty cold. You've been walking practically all day, and you just fought something that's pretty gnarly. So it's quite quiet, and so you're making slow progress. But you do hear some water nearby, a trickle of water.
I'll just sort of migrate us towards there. Like I clock the water, and I'm like, it'll get them to stop complaining for a bit.
As we're walking, I'm pointing to Aethelfrith doing all this heavy lifting and saying to Cesana, "Oh, isn't she strong? Oh, look at her big bulgy muscles, and she's good at that, isn't she?"
She is. Yes, I've never seen anyone like her. Honestly, it's. And Sana's like trying not to smile.
There's a little bit of red coming from her pale face.
It's because the cold, though, Tom. Yeah. It's the cold because it's snowing and stuff.
Totally the cold. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you reach, and it's kind of like a very small creek. The majority of it is just frozen over, and you can see the tiniest part of water just kind of splashing through. If you want to use this water, you're going to have to crack through the ice.
Give it a stomp.
All right, do a strength for me, please.
That is a extreme success.
You just come over and just crack very, very easily a good chunk of this stream, and you can just hear the water just start pouring quite significantly now. It's very easy just to get yourself and start.
Oh gosh, isn't she clever? Did you see how easily she did that? That's oh gosh.
As a peal of thunder cracks right outside my window, that was unsettling. She is very strong.
Yes.
Like to
Almost
imagine
as
while this is
strong as
happening,
ours.
Sanna's at the riverbank, like washing her wound with her arm and like pull down.
Yeah.
The
Even though
Sana
it's
does wield.
getting
Right.
dark, you get that kind of one ray of sun coming down. You get that anime splash.
It's the golden
going.
hour lighting.
Yeah, it just
Uh-huh.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow motion head toss.
Did you get first aid on that injury?
Yeah.
I thought
But you know, it was stitches, right? And there's been a lot of strenuous activity, so I imagine there has been some bleeding.
Probably, yeah, most likely. So, Lady Alice, would you roll me an appearance check, please?
Oh God. Oh God.
You're fine with this, trust me.
We'll see. Ooh, yes. I am fine.
Yeah, you managed to wash most of the gunk off you. You put it in your hair, you know, wash it out of your hair. Most of it's gone. You're pretty confident that most of the horrible gunk and saliva.
Well, Lady Alice is washing. I'll try to clean up the father a bit.
All right, roll me an appearance then, please.
Spit on your hanky.
It's not going to be nearly as good. No.
All right, you get.
I'm very homely.
You tend to. You've gone more to the face. You've tended to clear
Yeah,
the face.
You know, you make sure the airways are cleared and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
You're not too much
I think
bothered
the
about
rest
whether
of it,
it's in
like,
the hair or.
Maybe his clothes are like, they're kind of like dried now. So I'm like, it's like a cocoon. It's going to keep him safe, but we should probably clean off the face.
It's starting to get a bit crunchy, the clothes are, yeah.
That's fine. We'll just crunch it out of it later.
Yeah.
Can't we just pop him down and roll him around in the water? Wouldn't that work?
Well, it won't get too cold then.
Oh,
You know. It
Oh
is
gosh, aren't you clever?
snowing.
oh yes. Huh.
It is snowing. And as you look up, the last bit of sunlight disappears and darkness surrounds you.
Goodbye.
I can carry the father if you want to carry a torch, Thorn.
A torch is
Oh,
much less weighty, isn't it?
I would be proud to be the bearer of the flame.
Thorn, roll me a luck, please.
Sure. How lucky is the one? Not very lucky. All right, 35 is my target. Let me open the right window. I don't think I have any dice, right? I don't have any convenient dice.
You've got
You got
two
two
crits.
Oh. I'll save those. I'm thinking Tom is gonna hurt us later. Oh, apparently caps lock upsets the command. Right, caps lock. Yelling at the game doesn't work.
Oh,
No. That's a
Okay,
fail.
so you bring out kind of, it says you just a stick with a piece of cloth around it, and you try and strike on a stone to get it going, but it's just not. It seems to have gotten down.
Alright, so if I made Tom, she's like trying to strike and everything's damp, and she strikes really hard and there's this tendril of like snotty goop that comes off the end. And then it turns into her just flicking her hand around trying to get
in the
goop
background,
off.
you just see Thorn going.
Wasn't
Oh,
that stuff flammable? And I scrape some of it off the father,
Okay.
and I wrap it around, and I'll try to light it
All
up.
right, roll me a luck. See if it's flammable.
I would love to, because I was watching everything. Oh yeah, it's flammable.
Apparently, it's flammable.
That's a hard thing to...
I learned something new today. You get the stone and you strike it, and
It looks,
after a few
you know, like
sparks,
tar. It's really flammable.
I mean, it's got the kind
That's
of
what
like the
Ethelfrith was
same
thinking.
density of tar, but
That's
just
what
like a
Ethelfrith
kind
was
of
thinking.
gross translucent color, you know, like mucus. And you strike, and it just lights up the torch.
What
and
color is the
illuminates
flame,
the
Tom?
scene. It's we're gonna leave it as a normal kind of orangey yellow flame for now.
Thanks, Ethelfrith. I got some of the goop on my fingers and it was rather distracting. I see you got the torch going though.
There you go. Give you the torch and I'll
Okay.
get the father.
All right. Easy. Roll me a strength.
Okay, Tom.
Just in case. You never know, 100 might come up.
That's a success.
Crazy.
Fuck.
Okay. Over the shoulder, no problem.
It's only a success by 3 points, but it's a success.
Okay.
Fucking 85 strength.
Jesus.
Nuts.
Lick bones every day.
Wait, is this Aethelfrith's
God.
#1 single? Are we getting
Yeah.
preview?
So,
Wait, is there a
Um,
Carol Baker who put her husband in the? Never mind.
Charlie.
after a while, you clean yourselves, and I'm assuming you're going back. Yeah? Carrying
Yeah.
on. All right, so Sana, roll me a navigate at disadvantage.
Well, we ain't doing it, fam.
Hmm?
Oh.
All right. You see Thorn, and you have Thorn up next to you to light the way, and you start moving into the direction where you think the village is. You keep walking and walking and walking, and before you know it, about 2 hours have passed, and you can't seem to recognize where you are. Maybe it was going just slightly off course to the stream that put you off, but you have no memory of this place.
Sana's
You
gonna
just-
walk
everything-
up next to Thorn, put
Mhm.
put a hand on her shoulder and sort of lean down and say, "Now don't panic, but I don't know where we are. We may have gotten slightly
Right.
lost."
I'm sure that we are on the true and righteous trail, that God would not lead us astray. And though this be the witching hour and things be getting spooky, we will
I'm gonna
not
put my hand
fear.
over her mouth.
All
Could everyone roll me a Constitution saving check, please?
Yes. Oh, I'd love to.
Ooh, that's just a success.
Okay.
Success.
Lady Alice is fine.
Okay.
Remarkably.
Thorn is
No.
cold.
She's made of
Cranky.
tougher stuff. Made of tougher
Oh.
stuff. Okay, so Thorn, you're the only one that failed. Okay.
Yeah.
As Thorn's talking, you put your hand over her mouth. You feel her face, and it's almost icy cold. And with the light from the fire that she's holding on the torch, you can see that literally her entire body is just shaking non-stop. And as Thorn, in her normal kind of optimistic, cheerful kind of thing, she's still talking, but she looks quite cold.
So I immediately pull off my makeshift bed linen cape and bundle it around Thorn.
Okay.
Tuck
Alright.
her all up.
All right. Okay. What would you like to do after that?
I would like to shiver my way into figuring out which way the village is, please, Tom. Please.
All right. Roll me a navigate.
Alright, let me take a look. Can I navigate? Navigate, that begins with an N. 10! I have a chance, fam. I have a chance.
There's always a
Chance.
chance. By the way, it's at disadvantage.
How bad could it get?
It could get
Everyone.
so much worse. Okay. You have a look around, and now you're desperate for warmth. You, with Susanna not sure where to go, you feel that it's your duty to take a step and step up to it. And you pick a direction that you think you know and start moving. You go for a
This
little
way.
while, and you start going forward and forward. And an hour passes, and you stop. And everything looks exactly the same. Just forest, snow.
You know, it'd be real helpful if they put in that church, and there'd be a steeple to look for.
Could everyone roll
is
me a
it?
Constitution check. Susanna at disadvantage, Thorn at advantage.
What the hell?
I succeed.
I will spend 8 points of luck to make it a success.
Okay. So everyone succeeds?
I
Yes.
succeeded.
I don't understand.
Maybe we'll find a
but yeah.
witch with a warm hearth.
Okay. You're not sure, Lady Alice, but maybe the saliva, like, because there's still a bit on your skin. It's kind of coated. It's like oil, you know. Maybe that's keeping
lovely.
you warm. You're not sure. But you don't seem to be feeling the cold as much. Thorn, the cloak that were given really helped you out. The moving, you got the blood pumping again. You're feeling a little bit still cold, but not like you could collapse at any moment. Susanna,
All right, I passed
you're
out some
holding.
cold buns for everyone to keep up their strength.
Aethelfrith,
Yes.
roll me
Yes.
an idea check.
I would love to roll you an idea check.
Ooh.
That is a hard success.
Okay,
She's
you
pretty
know
smart.
before you left that your mother gave you a container of that kind of broth you would eat every morning,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the time it's warm, very warm, and it's been held in this container all this time. There's a chance that it may not be hot, but it's still warm because it's an insulated kind of container.
All right, everyone. I'm going to pass around some soup, some broth. It should revitalize us a little bit.
Oh, lovely.
Shouldn't be cold, you know.
Okay.
It's
As you-
probably more like
Yeah, it's more of
probably
a
more like
pop.
cork top. Yeah.
But bits of steam comes out, so there's at least some heat in there.
Pass around the soup. Everybody take a sip.
I
Oh,
don't
lovely. Thank you.
want you to take this the wrong way, Aethelfrith, but I have a question.
Of an answer.
You the witch?
What? No.
But you have hot soup, and you pulled it out of your pocket, and it's freezing out here.
Yes,
if you don't
It's
mind, Miss
been
Sutter.
against me body warmth this whole time, and whenever me mum puts soup in here, it stays warm. It's a warm container.
Well, you must have a very warm heart, mustn't she, Susanna? Aethelfrith of warm heart,
As hot as soup.
as hot as soup. Lady
I'm gonna-
Alice, you should help me with my speech writing. You got good words.
Oh, that'd be lovely. Yes, delightful. I'm gonna reach into my bag. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Roll me a 1d6, please.
Okay.
See, I always dread what comes next.
Okay. You pull out your recent creation, the star, which kind of
perfect.
symbolizes. It's kind of like a shining hope, particularly in this instance, guidance. Because if you follow the Christian thing, the star, following it to the birth of Christ. For you, you feel that this is apt. You're at night. You need guidance. This is the perfect thing to pull out, and it's got beautifully carved stars all around it. I mean, the end of it is kind of pointy. That's like in the shape of the star. Everyone else is a cock.
A really dangerous shaped one.
Oh no,
I think
it's
Aethelfrith's
lovely.
just like, witchcraft. Never touched witchcraft in my life. I don't want to be burned at the stake. Who would do witchcraft? She's just kind of muttering to herself. She's a little upset, but she's passed around the soup.
Okay.
Everyone's had some more soup.
So everyone's had a sip of the soup.
I'm gonna sit there and use my sit there, sort of cradling my new star.
Yep.
Okay. Dear darling, sorry, me again. It's dreadfully cold. If you couldn't see some way to finding us back to where we need to be, which is probably not quite as dark and cold as this, that would be lovely. Let me know if you'd like me to get anything while I'm out. See you soon. Bye-bye. And also, that chap who died in the big hole, be nice to him. He was not a bad one. Give him a nice cuddle from us. I'm going to hold it out in front of me.
Okay. Lady Alice, roll me a navigate, please.
Ooh. Oh, hang on. There. Stop it. Oh! That's what's known as penis power.
That is penis power right there. You're just following the star. Just like the
New
shepherd.
slogan for the channel.
Following the star.
Hashtag topical.
So everyone takes a sip, and you see Lady Alice pray, and she starts pointing, and you point in a direction, and you go, in your mind, Leah, that is the way you need to go. That is where your husband is showing you where to go. You're certain.
Thanks awfully, darling. You are terribly clever. Well done. And I'm just going to slowly walk off. Like, come on.
Lady
He
Alice
says
starts
this way.
to walk off.
I've got the soup flask, and I come up to next to April Frith, and I see she's pretty sad, and I hand it to her. Says, "Look, don't mind Thorn. You know, her mind goes racing. She's got theories. She thought I was a demon for the first week that we met.
So you don't think I'm a witch?
No, of course not.
Well, I guess as long as it's just Thorn, then.
Look, she'll find something else to have a theory over in about 10 minutes. Don't worry. She'll see a weird leaf, little nobble on a tree, and it'll set her off. And she'll forget all about this witch nonsense."
I certainly hope so. I'd hate to be burned at the stake. You know, take a canister.
And Sana smiles. She always reaches to put a hand on Aethelfrith's shoulder and says, "I wouldn't let that happen." And then she walks off with Lady Alice.
All right.
Thorn runs along next beside Lady Alice with the torch as if holding an umbrella. Is that kind of like accompanying energy?
Okay. All right. Everyone starts to go and follow Lady Alice.
You're like the NPC in a game that like the follow along. They just like like they catch up within 3 steps of you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Stop.
Better
Okay,
than an
so
escort
carry on.
mission, but yeah.
Oh,
Ugh.
escort missions. Ugh. Whoever created those certainly is going to hell. So you carry on through the forest. It's getting colder and colder. Snow is coming down, and there's trees, and Lady Alice leads you into kind of like a little clearing. And there's trees on the other side, but continues walking through the clearing. Each and every one of you, I would like you to make me a power check, please.
Oh. Success.
Okay.
Failure.
What?
I will spend 2 points
sorry,
of luck to make that a hard success.
Top. It's at the top power. It's one of your.
It's an ability, Millie.
Yeah. It's a characteristic. You know,
It's
with
underneath
strength and
intelligence.
Oh, yeah. No, I was just trying to think. Did I just roll a 6?
power. Oh, let me see.
Or was that
So,
wrong?
that was for your.
That was
navigate.
for your navigate.
Oh, okay. Cool. Got it. Come on. Oh no. That's bad. That's real bad.
All right. You start walking through this thing, and you get into kind of like the middle of this. I suppose this opening, this clearing, and Aethelfrith, you failed as well, yes?
I did, yeah.
And Thorn and San have succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
Hard
Okay.
success for Thorn. I paid 2 extra points.
Okay. Lady Alice, you start moving, and then you start slowing down. Your eyes begin to feel incredibly heavy. You feel like a tickling in the back of your throat and in your nose. And then you just stop. And everything becomes all foggy and cloudy. Aethelfrith, the same thing happens to you. You just feel
I'll look to see if I
stuck.
stepped in a mushroom circle accidentally while we was walking.
Okay, you look down and you see what tiny little spores just dancing around you. And
Look,
with that,
fair folk.
and
Just droop.
Aethelfrith just onto the ground, passed out. Lady Alice.
Which means I basically like pile drive Father Benedict.
Yeah, Father Benedictus, yeah, kind of. Well, when you started getting close, you kind of dropped your arm, and he just fell to
Okay, that makes
fell
me
to
feel
the
a little
floor.
better. I'm not just like
Whether or not I
Boo.
say for you to roll luck, whether you land on him, we'll see. And Lady Alice,
a
again, the
hefty girl.
same. It becomes very foggy and tiring, and you feel your knees begin to buckle, and then you just collapse onto the floor.
Crumple attractively, I think you mean.
Yeah, down you go.
fall like a sack of flour.
Yeah, so Aethelfrith just bang down onto the thing. Snow just goes up. Lady Alice gracefully kind of like falls to the ground with a little of snow. Susanna and Thorn, you see this.
She's like a snow angel. Lady Alice!
And I take off for
Lady
Aethelfrith and
Okay.
the father, who is no doubt in pieces.
Okay, you start running up and you head on over to Aethelfrith. She seems to be on the ground, fast asleep. She's just unconscious. The father, again, unconscious. Thorn, you go to Lady Alice, and she's unconscious too. I would like you to both to roll me a power check with disadvantage.
Uh-oh, that's the fail.
That's
Why
twice
do you
that's
keep
happened.
doing that?
That is just a fail. If
Just
I
fail.
could, unless I can spend 8 points of luck to make it a success.
I mean, you
Is
can
that
if you
allowed?
want to. If you want
Yeah,
to,
I'm
you
gonna
can.
slam that luck in. I gotta save Lady Alice. She's
Okay.
my Disney princess who is marrying God.
All
Oh,
right.
Thank you. It's awfully, it's very kind of you.
You head down, you see Lady Alice down, and you feel your eyes begin to get heavy, but you shake it off. The spores, whatever's all around you, is just swirling all around you. You turn to Susanna, and she heads down. What do you say, Susanna, as you're down with Aethelfrith?
She like rolls Aethelfrith over and she's like cupping her cheek, you know, shaking her lightly to say, "Wake up, Aethelfrith!"
And you go, wait, and Susanna goes unconscious.
Oh no.
On top.
Our first cuddle.
it's like a yeah.
Physical contact.
Nailed it!
Thorn
Thorn, what would you like
reaches
to do?
into her pocket and pulls out Rambo because she's getting very worried because it would appear she's all alone in the conscious world.
Yeah.
Is
So you get
Rambo
Rambo,
awake?
and Rambo's like just there, just looking at you.
All right. You sit there. You watch my shoulder, for the devil does like to come from behind. Lady Alice, I'm very sorry, but I'm gonna need to drag you closer to Susanna and Aethelfrith until I figure this out, or some supervising agent does appear with a better idea.
Roll me before you do that. Roll me an idea check.
Oh, I do like when the DM gives me ideas. It is usually it's like God whispering unto my ear. That's based on intelligence, right?
I'm pretty sure that's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
it's
success.
intelligence.
High
Right.
success.
You are positive. You've probably heard of this before, but whatever these spores are doing, they're the reason why everyone is going unconscious. Now, you know that these aren't dangerous of themselves. They just make you fall asleep. And they're very potent. But if you could figure every time you move, more of them get kicked up. So if you're going to start dragging someone, you're going to kick up even more.
Right, this is a problem. Stamps the flame down next to Lady Alice, keep her warm, keep the area lit, and then is going to run back to Susanna, the father, and Aethelfrith, and she's going to attempt to make a second light for them out of the goop left on the father, and a nearby stick that looks oddly like Lady Alice's star. We won't question it too much. It's a
Yep.
stick.
Yep.
Try and get
You're
that,
going to rub
and then run it back to the
star.
torch,
Yeah.
light that one, light it so they both have 2 thorns, and she's going to try and tread as lightly and as few steps as possible. Basically, like do little hops between them to stir up as few spores as possible. Kind of like, I'm sure this will work.
Roll me a stealth to kind of lightly.
65. Success.
Okay, you manage to lightly use your feet. Roll me a luck. See if you can light using
boy.
the goop.
The goop and the torch. Here we go. No, fail.
Okay, you start.
Oh fuck! I've got.
Try.
Oh wow.
You try and try, but it's just not. Whether the goop is just too cold or whether it is too cold, you're not sure.
You know what? There's 3 of them, and Aethelfrith does have a heart warm enough to keep soup warm. So hopefully it'll warm Sasana. I gotta go get help.
Body heat.
God, guide my feet back to the village.
All right.
Tom out. Not Tom. You're Tom. Thorn out. I was looking at your name.
All right. You get up, and you turn, and you see kind of like a figure at the end of this field. You can't see fully, but it's like a silhouette of a figure, and they stare, and an arm goes up to their lips and just roll me another power check, please, with disadvantage.
I'm going to use one of my crits, please, Tom.
You'll have to use 2 because it's at disadvantage.
I will use both of my crits then, Tom.
All right.
Take them. I'm not going down.
You use both crits at the spores, and you're coughing and coughing, but you refuse to go down. You refuse to fall unconscious or whatever. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna charge this bad person. Clearly they're at fault. On the way, I'm yelling, in the name of Sasana, the graceful Lady Alice, and Aethelfrith, warm of heart and hot of soup, I dare you to bugger off!
All right, so you're just charging full pelt across this field?
Yeah.
Roll me power with disadvantage.
Wait. Can I retcon slightly? Because I just remembered I have a sling, so I do actually have a weapon.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
I light up the swing as I'm like declaring this and try and fling a rock to like know when you get a bird and you want the bird to go away? It's like that energy. All right, I'd like to do that. Sorry, I forgot I had a sling. I just saw it on my cheek.
It'll be at disadvantage because it is night, but you can absolutely do that with no kind of,
I'm gonna do it, fam. And I will update my overlay in a second. I'm just rolling things, so I'm on a different screen. All right, 30 is my target. Fail, but how badly? Very badly, 96.
Okay. So you get it, and you're... and it just misses completely. The shaking of your hand, the cold, this situation, it got nowhere near, and you can see this figure, and it slowly starts to walk towards you. Through the field.
That is the opposite of buggering off, sir, madam, stranger in the night. Devil before me! Trying to sound as menacing as possible, but Thorn has very little as the shivers start to come in.
Okay. The figure starts to approach you step by step. Are you staying where you are?
Yes. What Thorn would like to do is wait for this stranger to get within throwing range, and she is going to throw a small vial she was playing with in the inn that contained a drop of a murdered woman's blood, amongst other things, that she acquired from Aethelfrith's house.
All right. She gets within range. She seems to be continuously coming.
Right, so in Thorn's head, Thorn has made a frightening potion. She can think of nothing more terrifying than being murdered, and so that drop is an infusion of fear. And she's combined it with time and other things from Aethelfrith's kitchen to try and make it more potent.
Okay.
In the kitchen. She has no idea if this is going to work. But
roll me a craft.
Her creation.
Yeah, roll me a craft to see if it works.
45 is my target. 65. Do I have enough luck? Because I will totally spend 20 points of luck. I have just enough luck to make that a success. Will you
Alright,
allow me to spend 20 points of luck?
You can spend your luck on anything you want. Keep in mind, though, you still have to throw this at the
I
person.
know.
Okay? But yeah, absolutely, it can absolutely 100% work.
All right, I've got 5
successfully
points
hit
of
it.
luck left. It'll be fine, I'm sure.
All right.
All right.
Roll me a throw, please.
All right. I would like to roll to yeet.
Roll to yeet.
Throw. What does that come under? Oh,
There's
it's
an
an
actual
thing.
skill.
All right, 25. I
Throw,
found
yeah.
it. 25. Come on, Thorn. By the power and the grace of everyone. 79. Nailed it.
Okay. You throw, and again, it goes into the darkness. You don't know where it lands, and this figure continuously approaches you.
That was really valuable if you want to chase after it. Thorn is now
Continue.
slowly backing up. And I think she was nearer to Susanna and everyone, if I remember right from where she
Yep.
was. And she's
Yep.
gonna draw Susanna's sword and just hold it out in front of her.
All right,
As,
roll
like,
me
if nothing else, like a poking stick.
roll me a power at disadvantage.
All right.
Oh no,
power
just
disadvantage.
normal, because you're not really
Okay.
moving around a lot, are you?
60. Never rolled so much in Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
That's a success. Is that a really good success? Power.
60,
Oh, I don't know.
think it's normal. It's normal if it's
Yes,
60.
it's normal. I need 14 points. Yeah.
Okay, you grab hold of the sword and pull it out. It's heavy for you, and you hold it back. And as you hold out the sword, the figure stops.
This is the sword of a brave and good man who did sacrifice himself in battle against the devil. I know this because Susanna's sword looked different, and I don't know where else she would have gotten a sword. Stay back and tell me about your business.
Again, the figure races finger to the lips. You hear a shh. As you hear a
Don't
shh,
you shush
hear,
me, I am tired of being shushed.
you hear crows and in the just go around behind you.
Uh-oh.
brings-
Let's stay back and don't be sending no feast for crows in my direction. Oh, that's a lot of crows.
She puts the hand in kind of, you're not sure, but somewhere, and holds out her hand.
My mother told me never to do anything with strangers, and you are most strange. You have yet to introduce yourself, person who controls crows. And this is my sword for now, until Susanna wakes up, and then it's Susanna's sword again.
And she pulls close to her hand, and you hear a and just kind of like a dust kind of blows into your face. Roll me a power with disadvantage.
Achoo, I say, as I am busy updating my overlay so people stop yelling at me to use crits that I don't have. 2 seconds.
Don't
I'm
worry, I
just
know.
flipping back over.
Use them!
If you'd like to give...
But why aren't
If
you
you'd like
using
to
them,
give me
Charlie? Why
crits.
though?
Why though? The donation options are down below, and we'll throw them over in chat. Alright, I was rolling power with disadvantage, Tom.
Yes, please.
Alright, 60 is the target. That's an auto fail. Let's see how bad it gets.
Okay.
65.
You know, it's not terrible. The dust goes into your eyes and it stings a little, and it goes down your throat and into your lungs, and it forces you to cough, and the coughing is harsh and it hurts, and you just shake your head, and your eyes begin to feel very, very heavy, and you lose all strength in your arms, and you just drop the sword and fall to one knee. And the figure comes forward to you, and the last thing you see is a young woman's face with red hair, and she goes, "Shh," and
Are you
fall down.
All right, I'm here to save the party. What's
All right,
going on?
Father Benedictus, you're already unconscious.
Oh, good. Good night.
Good night.
I've been carrying you through the forest.
Okay. Father Benedictus.
Thank God.
You open your eyes. You are in your nice, pretty warm bed at your parish, at your church. Everything is nice and good. You get up, you look into a mirror, this small kind of like little mirror that you have, and you can see the lovely youthful features of your face. And you're excited. This is the first day that you have been promoted, I suppose, to a priest of your own parish, of your own village. This is something you've worked for since you can last remember.
Long overdue.
What would you like to do?
Sounds as though it's time for me to give service.
Okay. You don some quite splendid robes, kind of vestments, and you have a kind of little peek outside because you're really excited, and you see that the church is just full. The whole village has turned out. It's only a small church, but as many people as crammed in as they possibly can. Your heart skips a beat. All these people looking at you, all these people listening to what you have to say, hanging on your every word. It's a thrill, and you're ready. You step out from the back. Everyone's eyes are on you. How would you like to present yourself to them?
I raise my arms up. This is how it should be. I am your god.
The villagers look a little confused, a little not sure what to do, but then there's a little amen, and it just echoes throughout the entire church. Echoes again and again and again, and you start your service. Roll me a religion to see how well it goes.
Quick question: am I actually doing this, or am I in a?
This is you when you were around
Okay.
20. You remember?
I was just
this.
checking
This is-
that, like, we didn't actually end back in my parish, and
Nope.
for no reason, I'm suddenly on a power trip.
No,
Good,
no.
good, as I
This is-
suspected.
Yep.
That is a success. I'm 23.
23. You give a absolute rousing sermon. They're all there. They're encapsulated by what you have to say. They just want more and more. And this is the longest service you've ever done because you're feeding off that eagerness for them to listen, to hear each and every word. But eventually, as all good things must, it ends. And slowly but surely, they all start to fade out of the church.
No, come back!
They continue, go out to the church. You're back.
I am your god, I command you!
You're back, and you are in your church, and you are sitting in confession. You've sat there many times throughout these years, and you hear constant confessions again and again and again. It seems to be the same old confessions: adultery, theft, again and again and again, worship of other idols. And after every confession, you go back to your room and you look in this small handheld mirror that you kept. You've looked at every morning to make sure you're presentable. And annoyingly, you see a tiny little chip in the corner of it.
That's not right.
But
Try and put it back into place with my finger if I could.
okay,
Just try
you
and-
kind of slightly adjust and put it back into the place, and you do the best that you can, but the chip is still there. No matter what you do, you can't. You try and fix it the best you can, but it's still there. And you go back to bed. You wake up. You're a little older now. The sermons haven't been as enthusiastic, as rigorous as they used to be. The church is still getting a decent amount of people there, but not as many as the first time. And they don't seem to be as enthralled as they were for the first time. And you don't know why. You don't think you've changed anything. But you continue to do your duty. You continue to listen to confession again and again and again. And you go back to your room, you go back to your bed again and again and again. And it seems like every time that you go back to the room, that crack on that mirror is getting a little bigger each and every time. Until finally, you are to give sermon to the village. And no one comes. No one is there. You have heard confession after confession after confession, a constant cycle of you preaching the church will forgive if you go to confession and give penance. And the villagers go in to seek forgiveness in confession and then leaving and just committing those sins again and again and again. You go into your room to go to bed, and the mirror is there before you. Now completely and almost totally cracked beyond recognition. The face that stares back at you is you, but much older and kind of broken and split somehow, with each of the edges showing a distorted face of you, broken. What would you like to do?
I grasp out to the mirror and take one of the jagged pieces of glass in my hand. And I start running this blade across my face, forming lines like a tattoo artist all across my body and my chest, submitting myself to no God, nothing holy, something darker, something older, more powerful, something I don't even really understand, but it's been there the whole time, silent passenger at the back of my congregation, waiting until my body resembles the same broken glass as the mirror did.
Roll me.
I smile.
Before you roll, Will, I just wanted to let you know that Gamer Lady has donated to give you a crit along with myself and Lady Alice, and there is also a boon for Thorn. Thank you, Gamer Lady.
Ooh.
Thank you, child.
Father, I would like you to roll me a sanity check, please.
I fail.
Okay. You lose 16 points of sanity as your mind racks fact you're there, the wounds on your body, on your arms, on your face, everything is still there. The mirror, as you look at it again, a grinning visage of your face. Clean, not cut, but still splintered. Mocking. What would you like to do?
I smash the mirror.
Okay. Roll me a sanity check.
Don't look at me, I say to myself. I do succeed.
You succeed. Okay. You lose 5 points of sanity and darkness. Lady Susanna, you are there. You are in your home. Before you is your father with a wooden sword standing before you. You with your sword holding 2 hands. And he thrusts forward and you parry to one side. And he thrusts again and you parry again. And this continues again and again and again. Until finally you're able to knock the sword away and point it to his stomach. He raised up. Oh, Sana, I yield.
I think you're getting too old for this, Dad.
I think you might be right. Or, and he kind of kneels down, you might be getting a little too good. And he hands the sword over to you.
And she takes it, smiling.
Okay. Now, you can go get ready. We have guests, and you need to look your best.
Okay.
Good.
Do I have to?
We all have our duty, Sana. And he smiles and kind of rustles your hair a little bit, playfully, and gets up and starts to walk off. Where would you like to go?
She stands there with the wooden sword in her hand and turns it over before she drops it to the ground. And instead of heading to her room, she heads to the armory where the family's weapons are kept.
All right. You sneak into the armory, or you just head in there? All right.
Well, no, she's playing it off, right, where she's walking, because this is her house. She can go wherever she likes.
Yeah. Okay. You head off into the armory, and there is a single guard there who's just casually just standing around looking. He notices you and smiles, and my lady, what brings you down here?
I'm just here to run an errand for my father. But speaking of, he said he needs an extra set of hands in the hall. We've got guests. Could you go give him a hand?
Oh, do me a fast talk with advantage, because you are.
Hey, do you know what? It's the finale. I've got 3 crits. I'm going to use one.
Okay, you use a crit. He goes, oh, right away, my lady, right away. Thank you for telling me. And he kind of nods his head and heads away.
And she makes sure that he's clear before she heads in. And she knows exactly what she's looking for. She's looking for a sword of, well, not hers, but it's her father's. And it's one that she's had her eye on for a long time. You know, it's the one he wears for when he's actually using it, not for like ceremonial stuff.
Okay. You know exactly where it is. You've been eyeing it every time. Every time you come to the armory, you've eyed it, and it's there before you, within grasp.
And she stands looking at it for a minute, and she's clearly thinking of what she's about to do before she takes a deep breath, takes it.
Okay, you pick it, you take it. It's heavy, really heavy in your hands, in your small 8-year-old hands, but it feels right. It feels good. Mm-hmm. What would you like to do with it?
She takes it and she goes back to her room, and she immediately begins bundling up all her belongings. Everything that an 8-year-old thinks they'll need, to head out on the road.
Okay. So you start getting everything together as much as what you could possibly think, and you put it all together kind of like as best as you can. You wear clothes and everything.
She's got a little traveling cloak on,
Yeah.
you know, she's got it all bundled up. And she's gonna try and sneak out of the hole.
Okay. Roll me a stealth, please, with advantage.
With advantage, because I'm only little.
You're only ickle and you know the castle grounds.
It's still, regardless, a failure.
Okay. You... Okay. You start sneaking around as much as you can, and you head out into the courtyard until you hear a voice like, "Oi!"
She like freezes in place. Her eyes are wide. Before she kind of slowly turns around.
Turn around, you see about a 10-year-old young boy there. He's wearing very fine clothes. Goes, what are you doing out here? And he approaches and looks around. Who are you? What's your name?
She holds up her chin. She says, "None of your business."
Oh,
Who are you?
like that. Well, I am Sir Roderick.
You're a bit little to be a knight. Look at you.
Yeah, well, you're a bit little to have that sword. What are you doing with that sword?
It's my sword.
Ladies don't have swords.
This one does.
Not anymore. And he tries to grab and reach for the sword.
Oh, she's gonna punch him.
Go for it. Okay, so roll a fight. Roll a fighting.
Crit his face in!
This just got very personal.
I felt that on a personal level. All right, I'm gonna. Wait, I've got 2 crits left. Yeah, fuck
How
it.
much
I'm gonna crit this
damage
kid.
do you want to
I'm
do?
gonna like fucking stave his nose in.
I'm gonna
Alright,
crit this kid in the face.
Oh, you just had a £20 donation from Gamer Lady. I'm just loading up to read what it is really quick for you all. Twist of Fate. Seems ominous. Let's go with it, Tom. So normally a twist of fate is to save a character from death. But Tom, if you want to twist someone's fate and do something wild, then you can do that.
Little twisty wisty.
All right, I'll have a think. So he reaches forward to grab this sword, and instinctively you just wallop him right in the nose. You hear a crunch. You feel the warm blood kind of just hit your knuckles and seep through your fingers. He falls back onto the ground. He's shocked, his eyes watering, tears coming out of his face. What? You hit me! You can't hit me! And he just
She stands over him. She says, "Knights don't cry. Go home to your mum." And then she turns around.
You turn around and you hear doors open. And you hear, "Son, what's going on out here?" And a tall, broad man comes and starts walking up to the son. Looks at you, "Don't move." And looks down. "What's the matter with you?" And he's like, she hurt me. She's gone. And he looks and looks. Oh, Lady Sana. I didn't know you'd be here. Aren't you supposed to be inside? And you see your father, like, in the distance, slowly walking. And he starts to approach you, kind of menacingly. "You shouldn't be out here, little girl. You shouldn't be having
Sana goes to
swords."
draw the sword. Like, she draws it, and she's holding it, like, with
Draw
2
the
hands.
sword
Yeah.
and holds it out. And he's like, "You should never draw a sword against me."
She's like trying to say something, but she's afraid, and it's kind of shaking in her hands as he's advancing on her. But she plants her feet and she says, "Stop!"
And he stops and stares daggers right at you. And and all you hear in the courtyard that just booms in this courtyard is, "Henry, get away from my daughter." And he starts moving, and he kind of turns and looks at you, and you can see Father kind of stands up, and he doesn't stand in front of you, he stands next to you and kind of looks up, and he goes, "I said step away from my daughter." And you call this a wedding gift? If they are to be married, you can't expect her to keep punching. And Father looks at the boy and then looks at him and goes, "If your own son cannot stand a single punch, then he is not worthy of my daughter. Leave now." And he, kind of anger in his face, blushes red, and he goes to his son, "Get up," and pushes him to one side. And your father just stands there for a moment. What would you like to do?
Sana just like immediately drops the sword, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, Dad, I didn't mean to do anything." And she's like just fast talk blubbering at him.
Okay. As you talk and you're talking, he doesn't look at you. He just stares ahead, and he just simply says, "The fighting lessons end. You will not fight again. You will act like a lady and do your duty. Now go to your room."
She just runs back to her room crying.
Okay. A few years pass. And do you try to act more like a lady, or do you still...
She still trains, but she does it whenever she knows that her father isn't around. Every time her father is like out at court or out hunting or something, she's in the yard training. But she pretends to be ladylike around him, though I guess after a while she can't disguise that, you know, she's getting some muscles and her dresses are a bit tighter.
So throughout these years, your father has entertained many guests, a lot of them with younger sons, and they've tried again and again to find a match for you, but again and again you put them off consistently, until at one point near your 14th name's day, he comes to you and says, "You are marrying this boy," and walks away.
And in that moment, she resolves to leave.
You gather your things, as many things as you can. Do you go for your father's sword?
Absolutely.
You go for your father's sword. The same guard there smiles, lets you in, and that very night, you sneak out. Time passes. You feel like you're experiencing each and every year that keeps going through, everything that you've done. Meeting Thorn. What's happened now kind of skips. And you're on a battlefield. You're back down in the mud, a gaping wound in your chest. Blood pouring from it, screaming, and soldiers all around you, your sword just out of arm's reach. You hear voices. "Look around! Look around!" And they keep looking. Find them. Find the important ones. Find the knights. And you see a person come by and have a look at you. And they look you up and down. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Do I know who these people are?
Nope. Just seem to be random soldiers.
She has, even though she's so badly wounded, she's still got that knife that she always has on the back of her belt. So she's kind of scooched her arm round behind her, so she's kind of laying on it, but she's got her fingers grasped around the handle. And she sort of looks up at them, coughs out a bit of blood. Who are you?
They look down. She's not important. She's not a knight. Move on. And they just bypass you without even a second glance.
And she's, wait.
You sound wait, but blood pools into the back of your throat and all a gasp of just blood comes out. Sana, I would like you to roll me a sanity check, please.
Okay. That's as bad as it gets, Tom.
You lose 14 points of sanity.
Cool.
As the fear and terror of dying grips you. You're a person, you're a soldier, and you're gonna die without a sword in your hand. It's almost within grasp, but you're not sure if you have the energy to reach for it. Roll me a constitution.
Okay. That is a hard success.
Okay. You feel a tiny bit of energy come back to you. And I'm assuming you're going to reach for the sword?
Yeah.
You reach out for the sword and try to grasp hold of it. You put your fingers on it and cup around the hilt. I need you to make a sanity check for me, please.
Okay. That is, that's a good one.
Okay. You lose 1 sanity as you bring the sword close with every might that you have, and you lay it on your chest. And as the sword hits the chest, darkness. Lady Alice.
Yeah.
You are in clothes that you have worn many times. It's getting a bit too regular now. You're in the black attire as yet another suitor has sadly passed away. Your father is standing there next to you, along with your mother, as they pay their respects to the recently departed. Currently, at this moment, how are you feeling and what are you doing? This is the 3rd time.
At this point, it almost feels like a bad dream. I don't think any of it makes any sense anymore. And she'd kind of convinced herself that would be it, that this was the one, that they'd made it. And now nothing seems to make any sense anymore. And she definitely blames herself. She thinks it's her.
The service continues, and they bury the dead. And it's not long before you start heading back to your home with your father and mother. And your mother and father escort you to your room. And they enter with you and help you sit down. And your mother takes your hand and says, I think perhaps we need to look at other options for you, my dear.
Oh, I thought we already had. Sorry, did you have somebody in mind?
It is evident to us that God does not want you to have a man, a husband. So we think what would be best is if you went to God himself, dedicated your life to him.
You're going to kill me? That seems...
No, my dear. No, my dear. And she gently pats your hand, and your father kind of takes your other hand. He goes, no, my dear. We mean for you to go to a place where women quite similar to you can live together and worship of God.
Oh, doesn't that sound lovely? So no more of the, point to the bed.
No, my dear, no more of that.
Oh gosh. Oh, that's quite a relief, actually. No, I think that might be for the best, yes.
Of course. It's okay, you take it. And
I really did try,
I know, my dear, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. This is just what God wants. And they gently clasp your hand. Now, try to get some sleep, and we'll arrange everything for you.
All right then, thanks awfully.
And they get up. Good night. And they leave the room.
Good night. I'll look at the bed. Was this the same one I'd slept in that night or not?
No, this is a different bed. This is your bed. This is, yeah.
I'll just kind of lie down and stare.
Okay.
And then I'll get up and sort of pace around a little bit and look at myself in my shift in the mirror as I get undressed. Just sort of, that's quite nice in white, isn't it? Father always said it suited me. Are you there? Am I going to come and live with you? I should do it properly. Kneel down next to the bed. Dear God, how are you? I'm sorry it didn't work out with those chaps. But maybe I won't need to wear quite so much black now, so that's good. I'll try to make you happy and sing songs the way you like them, whatever they are, and I'll find out what you like to eat. Do you like to eat? Right. Talk to me back. Lots of love, Alice. Oh, P.S. If there could be a cat of some kind, that would be lovely. I do like cats.
Okay. And then you go to bed?
Yes. I'll lie in bed, actually quite excited for the first time in a while.
Okay. You lie in your bed, you get all snuggle, you close your eyes. And when you open your eyes, you're in a completely different room, a much smaller room. The blankets are a lot more itchy. There's only a simple desk with a small mirror kind of like attached to it. And on the wall, you can see your kind of nun robes there, ready for you. It's your first day. You made it.
Exciting. I'll almost jump out of bed with that kind of child on Christmas morning excitement, but it's very graceful and balletic. It's very
so you get up,
Disney princess about to sing with the birds.
You're very, very happy. You put the robe on and you head out of the room. Immediately as you head out of the room, you head back into the room. It's about a year later. This isn't as enjoyable as you thought it was. For one, there's no cat. And your life seems to consist of prayer, sewing, sleep. Prayer, sewing, sleep. Again and again and again. And every time you go out of the room and you come back in, another year has gone. And again and again and again. Every night praying, but no answer. Again, again, again. Until finally you enter the room. And you sit down at the mirror that you have seen consistently for years. And you see your face, once youthful and beautiful, wrinkled, hair greying, spark out of your eyes. And you just stare back. You lost count how many years have passed. And for a moment you blink and you see the youthful you again. There, smiling at you. What would you like to do?
Look up at the ceiling and then back into the mirror. All I ever wanted was for you to talk back to me. Just once. Why wasn't I good enough? I'll stand up and take my robes and start running my nail down the seam of it. None of it means anything, does it?
You look back in the mirror, and still your young face is there, almost mocking.
It's not true, it's a lie. No. Just put the robes over the mirror so I can't see it. And I'll go and sit in the bed and just look at the wall. You talk to all the others. They say that you talk to all the others and you never talk to me. Why didn't you talk to me?
Could you roll me a sanity check, please?
Oh no.
No? Okay, you lose 17 points of sanity. As the robe is over the mirror, you're looking at the wall, anger building up inside you. And you don't know why, but you can still feel that young face of you looking at you, peering at you through the mirror.
I'll go and sit down in front of it and pull it up. What?
Okay.
What could I have done? What?
It stares back at you, smiling, that warm smile that you used to do, but not anymore.
They take everything. They take everything. It's all for nothing. It's all lies. They say that they hear you and they don't. Maybe they don't. Maybe it should stop. Wouldn't that be lovely if it all just stopped? I'm going to reach into the drawer on this table.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming I'd have a flint or something for lighting the candles.
Yeah.
And I'll just be toying with it.
Okay.
And Moore can sit on the bed. Just making little sparks.
Roll me an idea check, please. Which is essentially, I believe, intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay.
If it's an idea, it's not a good one.
Okay. The face is constantly staring at you, and you just need that face to stop staring at you. No matter what, you need it to stop.
Stop it. Stop looking at me. Everybody's always looking at me and they never... They don't look properly, and you see. Maybe... If they didn't want to look. I'll just strike it and hold it against my nightgown.
Okay. Roll me a sanity check, please.
Mm.
Is that a success? Into your sanity.
Ooh. No, not anymore.
Okay. Okay, you got you lose 1 point of sanity as you strike and flames start licking the fabric of your dress, and they start to burn and scorch your flesh. There's still a chance to take it off. What would you like to do?
Yes. I don't think I'm quite there yet.
Okay.
But I'll pull it off and sort of try and douse it with the covers.
It's easy. You douse it very quickly. It wasn't very much, but it just gave that initial burn, and there's a mark left at you,
Oh, no.
and still that mirror image of you looks.
They're going to know. Oh gosh. Stop it. I'm going to try and heave the mirror round so that it faces the wall.
Okay, so roll me a strength check, please.
No, that is a
Nope.
fail.
Okay, you grab hold and you pulling to try and put it around. It's quite heavy, but you misjudge it, and the mirror comes and shatters onto the floor. And as you do that and take a deep breath, I need you to roll me a sanity check. Sanity check, please.
That's a fail.
Okay. You lose 4 points of sanity, and it goes black. Thorn. You are with your mother and father. You're in your lovely little house that you were in before. Your mother and father are talking to a couple there. It seems one of them's got a bit of a cough and is looking for help to get rid of it. Your mother and father happy and as they're very friendly. Talk to them, give them a small thing. They drink and they leave. They come over to you, Thorn, and sit down and say, "Were you watching?"
I was taking special care to pay attention to what you put in the draft and the instructions you gave. I did think the cherry liquor was an interesting addition, but I can see how it might be soothing.
Well, yeah. I mean, ideally, they, it's just something for the taste. If you don't put that in, it tastes very awful, Thorn. Okay, so make sure. So you knew exactly how much you had to crunch it. This much, put it in. Okay, just don't tell what's in it because they may not want to see what's in it. Yeah.
No, it's important they don't know, because then they believe it'll work.
Exactly.
You tell them what's in it, and they'll be like, "But this is just weeds and alcohol," and you're like, "Yeah, I know, but it's gonna work. Don't worry, I've seen it. I've seen you do it, and I've been paying special attention. And you told me less words is better."
You learn so fast, Thorn. I'm so proud. And she kind of gives you a little hug. Now, I want you to go help with Father. He's got a service to do. One of the elderly has passed away. Could you give him a hand?
All right. I dust myself off really quick, and I go and get the appropriate veils and things to look appropriately religious and sad.
Okay.
I'll pause for a moment and take a breath. And I'm sad.
Atta girl. And you kind of head off and you see your father and you go up to your father and like that in his face. And he's like, "Oh, that's a sad face. Well done, Thor."
I am in mourning for the soul that is sadly departed from this our realm.
Save it for the service, yeah?
All right. What have I got to do today?
All right, well, you're taking the lead today. And you remember what to do, yeah?
Lead.
Yeah, I think it's time.
Me?
Yeah. I mean, one day you're going to have to do this when we're gone.
How old was this person exactly? I need to
very
understand
old.
how big a meal I'm having.
Probably.
Because I had a large lunch, Dad.
It's pretty. He was pretty old, but I think he lived quite a clean life. I think he was quite chaste. I think you're all right. I think you'll be all right.
Small bites, chew, swallow.
Small bites. Take as long as you need.
Say the words.
That's right.
The specific ones, not the ones that I think would sound nice.
The specific ones. And remember, Fawn, short and sweet.
Less words is better.
Less words is better. All right, come on, let's go.
All right.
And they lead out.
I'm sad and I'm serious.
And you lead out to where the village is. People are gathered around. Everyone there. Everyone kind of like sad, but they seem happy to see you too. Like a friendly, warm, almost like looking for comfort from you. And you approach the body who is laying in the ground. The coffin open, ready for you to do what you want to do.
Hello, Mr. Partridge. I'm very sorry you were gone. Spooky words in Latin come from my mouth that I have heard my father speak. I'll skip a couple of the ones that are long that I might get wrong, because less words is better. Amen. And I pull from my pocket a hunk of bread and I wave it over the body and I push it to his lips. Don't bite. Please don't bite. And then pull it up and she begins to eat it.
Okay. We didn't put a skill for this, did we?
No, but I have a cult and I have religion. Probably religion.
You can, go religion.
Alright. My target is a 30. I did see Gamer Lady just donated. I will look at that in a moment, see what that is.
Okay. That reminds me, actually.
That's a 2, Tom. That's a 2.
Oh,
That's nearly
you-
as good as it gets.
You nail it. Absolutely nail it. I mean, it's perfect. You even make it shorter and snappier so people aren't, like they're waiting. And yeah, it's perfect. You absolutely nail it. Your father looks at you, proud, smiling, and then you turn to all of the villagers, and the sense of thanks is just emanates from their face. They feel relieved. They feel thankful to you. And as you start walking through the crowd, they all kind of like pat you and thank you, and you head back to the house while they finish up. You enter the house, and as you enter the house, it's a few years later. People have been coming to the house more regular. First, just a cough, and then more of a cough, vomiting, and more people keep coming. And as they arrive, and your parents do what they can, they leave. Disappointed at first, then sad, then angry. More and more come, and as more come, the angrier they sound. Until one night where you are in your room, you hear angry exchanges. You hear your mum weeping in the next room. What would you like to do?
I'll grab the mop from the bucket by the door and I'm going to run down. Because if it's that Goody White again, I'm not above thwapping her in the face with my mop handle.
Okay. You head in and you got the mop hand, and all you see is your mother there. She just sees you. She goes, "Oh, Thorn, come here.
Is it that Goody White again? I told her
Oh.
to take the ointment 3 times a day and she don't listen.
No, it's nothing like that. What I need you to do is do you remember? I'll get you the thing. And she comes out and here's this list, but it's not a list of words; it's a list of drawings of plants. And she goes, "What I need you to do is get these and mix them, just like I showed you, okay? And once you've mixed them, I want you to put them in the well. Yeah?"
Oh, it must be real bad. We got to cleanse the well.
We do. The whole village does. So could you do that for me, please?
You know, if they sinned a little less, then maybe their water would be a little dirty, less dirty even. I'll go. I'll go straight to the woods right now. I'm taking my
Good
mop
girl.
though, just in case that Goody White is lurking.
Oh yes, of course.
That had dogs
Keep
on me
that mop.
last week.
Right, go quickly now, quickly.
I'm going.
Okay, so you head out. You gather the materials that you saw that you needed, and you started to brew the potion. I need you to roll me a stealth
Right.
to head to the well and pop it in.
65 is my goal. Success. 53.
You're able to get to the well, you make sure no one's looking, and you pop it in there. And you head back to...
Dear God, please cleanse this
Your
well,
mother.
for there are many sinners in this village who have been coughing and spluttering, and the source must be somewhere. So I am adding my source to this mix. Spooky words, be cleansed. Amen. Amen. Amen.
You do that. You head back to your mother, and she's like, Did you do what I asked?
I did.
Oh, good. Good.
I doubled the mixture because, you know, the well's pretty high and I didn't want to under cleanse.
Yeah, and you see that she's gathered, like, it's like, I need you to put this on, and she's put, like, another coat on you, and she gives you a bag, and she hands you a number of sheets of paper with different drawings on. Right, what I need you to do, I need you to go into the forest and find these for me, okay, and bring them back.
I've never seen a mushroom like that round here.
It's quite far into the forest. Okay, so you got to go deep, but I really, really need this. Okay?
Did you pack me a lunch?
Yeah, it's in the bag with you.
Oh, all right. I thought the bag felt heavy. Thanks, Mum.
No problem. Now go quickly now.
Did you remember to cut? Never mind. I'll pull them off myself.
You head out into the forest.
I hate crust. She always leaves the crust on the sandwiches.
You head out into the forest, and eventually you find everything you need. But by the time it's just becoming dusk, so red sun is kind of seeping through the trees and all the greenery until you are heading back to the village.
Thank you so much, Gamer Lady, for those big crits and for the boon for Aethelfrith.
You head to the village, and the first thing you see is a body of one of the villagers. And as you enter the village further, you see another one and another one, until finally you see two bodies over the well hanging. Your mother and father. The entire village strewed out around the well, all dead. It is completely silent.
I don't understand. Why would you all do this? They were cleansing the well. I helped. And then I hit a button on my computer and I don't know what it's doing. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. I got a new keyboard and it's got new buttons and I hit one by accident. It is surely the work of black magic. Anyway. This is what happens when you kill a sin eater. You let all their sins out and the devil comes for you. See? It's come for all of you and you're all dead. But I'm not going to eat your sins because look. All right, Mum. What else did you put on the list? Kind of goes through the bag. Get the herbs, come back. Did that. Ate my lunch. It got dark. Now what do I do?
There was nothing else on the list.
All right. What did Father say in his sermon on Sunday? He said, "Goody White, take your medicine, damn it, woman." She did not. He said, if you let your dogs bark after dark, it is a sign that the devil approaches and you should think about what you've done and give the good boys a treat so they don't bark no more. The dogs were barking. And then Mum said, I think you should get to the point, Ted. And Father said, all right, I will. And he said, always follow the path of God, for it is a path of righteousness and redemption on which we must all tread if we are to walk into those gates that guard the kingdom of heaven. And you don't want to go anywhere but the kingdom of heaven because it will really be a bad time for you, son. And you, daughter. And then he looked at me. Now I'm having a conversation with myself. God, please. I promise I will walk the path. But if you could see fit to send back the spirits of Mum and Dad, I would really appreciate it. And she's gonna climb up to the well and try and get Mum and Dad down without dropping them in the well.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can do that. You do that. Okay, so you get them down from the well.
I'm going to do the long version, because there's two of you, and you know it takes all the words. and
Okay,
she'll
so-
do the rites for them both.
Okay, so you do the long version, do the rights for both of them.
She waves the crusts of her sandwiches, the only thing she has left from lunch, over them, and then she eats them grudgingly, goes to the house, picks up a few things, looks at what is a hastily and roughly drawn charcoal map on the wall, one of her father's prized possessions, tries to figure out which way is towards God, and heads out that way.
Okay, so you head out into the forest. You move. You go for so far until eventually you meet a young knight. She takes you in. Years pass with this knight, constantly talking and talking until finally the knight can no longer take your talking and shouts at you and tells you to leave her alone. And she
But I was
leaves.
just telling you what they were saying. Forewarned is prepared or something.
And she just walks away and leaves you. It starts to snow, cold, and you feel the strength leave your body and collapse to the floor. You're huddling together,
Hey,
trying to get
Raiders,
as
welcome
much.
in.
Oh my word! Try to get as much warmth as you possibly can, but there is nothing. The day is as silent as it was on the day you went to the village, and you are totally and completely alone. Roll me a sanity check, please.
Just kept going towards God. Because that's the way to go. 57 is my brain number.
Okay.
84 is what I rolled.
Okay. You lose 5 points of sanity as the loneliness starts to get to you. And you're cold, and the sweet embrace of sleep is just wanting and waning on you. What would you like
Less
to do?
words is more. I think I'm just gonna curl up in a dry spot. And since no one else will listen to me, not even God, I'm gonna tell myself a story. Because I quite like me. Sometimes I come up with a good idea. Just people don't listen. I use less words, I use more words, I use sharp words, I use soft words. And sometimes I just point and make dumb expressions and they still don't get it. So I tell myself a story of a baker. And this baker makes little men-shaped cakes. And one day she's lonely. And she whispers to the cakes. And she says, if only you'll be my friend. If only you could talk to me, little man made a cake. And she gives him little candied sweet buttons, little candied sweet eyes, and the candy sweet smile. And she sets him up on a windowsill. And she says, you watch me over me tonight, and tomorrow we'll go on a picnic, you and I. I'll have a day off. It's a hard life being a baker. Everyone always comes to you asking for things, always asking. And sometimes they pay, and sometimes they say, I can't this week, maybe next week. It's been a hard winter. And you know it's been a hard winter because you've been using up all your supplies to make them things. To keep them fed and keep them warm. And to keep them healthy when they've got the cough and the tickle. And when they've got the other scratches that they don't like too much.
Your eyes
Bakers
start
don't have
to
that
feel,
problem. That's my problem.
Your eyes start to feel heavy. Roll me a sanity check.
And then she's laying in bed and she's thinking about her cake friend. And it's such a cold night. Fail.
Fail. You lose 13 points of sanity and you fall unconscious.
And then she falls.
The sweet embrace of the cold will succumb. You succumb to it and fall into a deep, never-ending sleep. Ethelfrith, you
Yeah.
you awake and see only darkness around you. Just an unending void of darkness. You can hear each breath you take as it echoes around you.
Can I hear every move I make as well?
You absolutely can.
Okay.
And before long, you hear slight whispers all around you. It's very hard to tell what they're saying. You can hear whispers, but you can't hear what they are. And gradually become louder and louder, repeating again and again. You hear, release, release.
Hands over ears.
Again and again. And you put your hands over the ears and it does nothing. This noise is in your very skull. It vibrates again and again and again to a deafening before you can, until you open your eyes and sit up, sweat pouring from you. And inside you see what seems to be kind of like ruins, old Roman ruins that vegetation has kind of overtook. And you see all your companions there. And at the same time as you, they all start to wake up as well and see this ruins and vegetation everywhere. And a woman is there sitting down, packing. She's got long red hair. She's wearing kind of like hide. She's wearing kind of like a hide jerkin with like hide trousers with it and boots. And she turns around. Oh, you're awake then?
I look around and I'm checking to see if we're in a giant mushroom circle because there was some spores.
There is no mushroom circle around you. You are on kind of like well, not concrete, whatever Roman buildings were made out of. I don't know. Concrete? I don't know. Yeah, whatever that was.
Stone concrete.
Yeah. Stone, whatever. You're on concrete kind of slabs.
Yes, I am awake. And who? Well, actually, I'm Ethelfrith. Who are you?
Oh, my name's Cassandra. I was the one who found you in the field. And she starts putting with all the spores. Indeed, your friends should be waking up very shortly.
Right.
Or you could just give them a kick, and they'll wake up, one or the other.
Well, I don't want to kick them. That doesn't sound nice.
Look, only a slight nudge, and she slightly nudges Father Benedictus in the back, which jerks you awake.
We hear like a crunching of fabric because it's.
A little crunch in the fabric, but there has been a fire, so there is a bit warm in here, and she seems to be collecting quite a lot.
What time is it? Is there light? Is it still dark?
There is light. Yes, it seems morning.
Oh boy. Okay. Right, and I'll go over to Susanna, a bit nervous. Does she look witchy?
I mean, she doesn't look like, I suppose, in all definition of a witch, maybe. She's definitely a person who lives in the wild.
Okay.
And she's a woman who seems to be living in the forest. I suppose you could put two and two together.
Don't say anything, because that would be impolite. And I've heard the village has already been a bit impolite for the sake of necessity, so I'm just going to go over to Susanna and just very gently shake. Just nudge,
shake
nudge.
her and Susanna wakes.
Susanna?
Ethelfrith? What's happening?
Yes, it's morning now, and we're no longer in the field of spores.
Sanna's like backing up and she's feeling for her sword or any of her equipment.
This is Cassandra. She got us out of there.
She smiles and she notices you looking for your sword. Oh, it's over there. and it's just been placed where all the other pieces of equipment that you've got, you know, your shield. Oh no, you dropped your shield, didn't you? Oh no, you kept your shield. Bags, and bags. And she seems to be packing away. Right. Well, you seem to walk into one of my, I suppose you could say, defenses. I guess you were lost.
Oh, we were very lost. We were going in circles for ages.
Right. So, can I ask, are you from the village?
It's the only villager there.
Sana, you know, she's kind of standing
I
up
think her
now.
face betrays her. She's like, like, how did you know?
Okay. Right.
Most of us are travelers.
Oh. But you came from the village.
We got stuck there in the snowstorm. Yeah.
Right. Could you tell me, after the poor woman died, did anyone else die?
How do you know about the woman's death?
Well, you see, I've been watching the village for quite some time. Very, very long time, in fact. Not just me, me mother and me grandmother.
You're all in here together, or you've been watching for generations.
Jim died! Jim was
for
Carol's
generations.
husband!
So Jim died, okay.
Oh, Jim.
Did anyone else die?
Another, yes, killed by a knight.
So, right. It's 3.
Did all the knights went missing? Except for Sasana.
Okay, right. Okay, so that's the other nights. Did anything else happen in the village? Anything at all? Anything that springs out as unusual, or?
I'd call a 7-foot-tall beast with arms as long as Aethelfrith here something unusual.
Okay. Oh dear.
Baker stretch. But the beast, mostly the beast.
Okay. Well, that's not very good. Okay. And she starts packing even faster now.
What's going on here? What do you know about this?
Well, as I said, I've been watching the village for quite some time. In fact, if I'm correct, it's close to 113 years. Unfortunately, I have failed. Let me explain things to you.
Please.
My grandmother, she met a young man not too long as she was in the forest from that village, and he told her of something different in the village, something unnatural is what I want to say, but it's so much more than that. And he looks at Aethelfrith, and he looks at everything. Forgive me, but she's a villager. She hasn't tried to kill any of you, has she?
No. And Sana started moving in front of Aethelfrith, and she's also like nudging Thorn and Lady Alice with her foot as she kind of goes past.
Okay.
Don't eat me, I'm not a cake man.
Okay. Well, allow me to explain. Over 100 and... Oh, are you all right there? Are you all right?
It was you!
What? Look, I think it would be better if everyone just sat down and let me explain what's going on. So 113 years ago, a man from the village came to my grandmother. and told her of I suppose you could say, a plague had ravaged the village. A plague that was killing. No matter what they tried, no matter what my grandmother tried, nothing would work. Until another option came to the village. A darker option. He told my grandmother that voices answered their prayers and asked for release. That they would give them 113 years of prosperity, no hunger, starvation, or even aging. At the end of the 113 years, that they would break the first seal. And I think they're breaking the first seal.
I have a lot of questions. It sounds kind of like a deal I heard in the pub once, but a bit different at the same time. Aethelfrith, how old are you?
Oh, it's not polite to ask a lady her age, but I'm 19.
That's true. She thinks she's 19. Let me explain. Ethelfrith, was there something that your mother would give you? Would you consume something all the time, every day?
Besides bread, soup broth.
So, this kind of broth, you had it every single day, yes? Every morning. That is a special thing that can distort memories. That can make you think, give you memories, but basic ones, like visitors came to the village. You cannot remember faces or names, but you know visitors came. This very similar like that. And if you take it every day, sooner or later you think that you forget mass details, like how old you are, how much time has passed. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever experienced hunger, disease, death?
I've been very healthy, thank you very much. And yes, Jim and Carol both died.
Before them?
I think back.
You don't remember. It's basically been smooth sailing since you can remember. Never a failed crop.
No.
Never a rough winter. Everything has been perfect.
Go a little pale.
Yeah.
But everyone's not eating the soup.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying
Are you
is...
saying that Ethelfrith is some kind of soup-eating demon?
No.
Suspiciously.
No. Nothing like that. What I'm saying is, for the deal to be completed, it required only 13 people. Ethelfrith might, if that's your name, I believe it is.
Yes.
Could be just an innocent
Yeah.
passerby, but she has been touched by whatever these things are. But she was not one that actually did the deal.
But wait. On our way into the village, Susana, there was 13 crows. Remember Lady Alice was talking to them?
I remember.
Are you saying that 13 people have to die so that this seal opens, or 13 people shouldn't die because then the seal opens, or...
I don't know the details. All I know that is it takes 13 people for this seal to be broken.
And how many have died so far?
From what you told me, it was what you said. There's 2
7?
villages, and whatever.
4 knights and 3 villagers. That's 7.
Well, there's
think.
6 of us in this room, so let's try not to all die.
I mean, that's my question. Do we want the seal to open or not? What is the seal sealing? Is it a gate to hell?
Well,
From
from what I understand, from what my grandfather told me, what the deal is that there are 13 seals, and if someone has decided to put 13 different locks on something, then you probably don't want to know what's inside.
What form might these seals take?
I do not know.
How many buckets are in the village?
Good question.
I do not know.
Answer me.
Well, my family has 2, the inn has 3.
How many?
I don't. There was one at Jim Carroll's
How many
house.
buckets?
I think that's 5. No, that's 6. 6 buckets. I don't know how many buckets my neighbours have.
6
I don't know.
buckets. 6 is the devil's number.
We could just buy one more and then it'd be 7. Is 7 all right?
I don't know. I'm
Buckets are a rare commodity in the village.
Burn it all down.
And she starts to she kind of starts to curl her red hair, and I'm sorry, but I have to leave. I can't stay here any longer.
That's
Why
your job. You're meant to watch them. Look at what a mess they've made. You should have
I've
been watching
watched-
closer.
I have watched them, and I mean, I suppose if you hurry back, maybe you can stop it, but I
How?
can't do anything. I don't
Yeah,
know.
questions. Lots of questions.
Stop the villagers
From murdering each other, killing people?
doing whatever they're going to do.
Okay. Also, second question. After getting put to sleep by sleepy spores, hearing a male voice in your head begging for release, is that a bad sign?
Uh,
Oh no, they do that sometimes, usually when they're about to keel over.
Hmm.
Oh.
she steps back, nervous. You hear voices.
No, I've never heard a voice in my head in my life until those spores put me to sleep.
Never a single voice in April First. She can't even hear her own voice.
She just talks out loud, it's just empty. It's just.
Has anyone else heard these voices?
No.
No?
I think I did, right?
You did,
So-
and
yeah.
Father
Yeah.
Benedict's house, yeah.
I had a disconcerting ringing, I suppose.
Right.
I'd have heard of
I'm
voice.
sorry, is he talking to everybody apart from me?
Oh, this is
What on earth is going on?
this is one voice you
Oh.
don't want to hear.
I don't think it's Jesus.
Look,
Who?
guys, I got half an hour to finish this.
I think we can fill in Lady Alice on the way. We gotta get to the village to find out what they're doing and stop it before the murder board is complete.
Just let's not murder
There's no
anyone.
time.
Wait, 2 seconds before we do go. So, witchy lady whose name I did not catch because I was asleep dreaming.
Cassandra.
Very nice name. I like it a lot. Couldn't spell it, but very nice. Do you have any herbs or remedies which might help us in whatever it is we're about to do? You sent us all to sleep. Maybe we could bottle up the spurs, shake it all up, and do a bomb on the village. A bomb meaning a thing that goes boom,
I
and it
have.
spreads the spores, and they all go to sleep because then they can't do anything.
You can find whatever you want. And she kind of puts the bag on. I have to leave. Whatever is in here is yours.
Where are you going?
Away. I have other duties to attend to. Goodbye.
Oh no, please,
she-
please don't though. Oh.
And she kind of heads outside, and you hear a kind of a caw of a raven, and then gone.
Well,
I'm
that was a
sorry, is
witch.
anybody else completely lost?
Well, yeah, I
Who
don't
is
know where
that?
we are in the forest.
Right.
How are we even
I
supposed
don't
to
know
find
either.
the
Which way-
village? We should
If
have
only
asked
they had a
between
church.
one.
All right, everybody.
We have to find our way back.
Breathe.
We just tread the path.
Find our way
of God.
back and slay anyone in our
Hang
path.
on. I'll see what I can do.
Anyone?
I'll reach into my bag. Can I find the same? Can I find my shooting star?
You can find your shooting star, yes.
Good
I want to use.
heavens.
It's new.
Alright.
Do you like it?
Roll me. What did I do? Luck? Last was it luck?
Not
I
seen
can't
one that big since the seminary, eh,
Yeah,
Benedict?
do
I
luck.
Golly, Miss
I can't remember what I rolled. Oh dear.
Let's just say luck
Okay.
or religion, whatever one you want.
Either way, I'm fucked.
God is not involved.
I'm starting
Right.
to think he's not a very good husband.
You
La, la,
start. You hold out the thing and you just start wandering around and going round in circles. And,
Waving a clay dick in the
Yeah.
air.
yeah, just trying
Why
to
not?
figure out where to go. Aethelfrith, could you do a
God is-
spot hidden
God
for
is
me?
dead.
please?
I would love to do a spot hidden for you.
Are you listening to me?
That
Come and talk to
is
me.
a hard success.
Okay, as you're starting to
Certainly one way to
wander
get to
around out of the thing, you see what seems to be a kind of roller, but a lot more sturdy, a lot better quality,
Oh,
and you know,
I'll
probably
look.
a bigger wallop.
All right. Nobody tell anyone that this is a witchy rolling pin, but I think it might pack a bigger punch if we need to club someone with it.
But remember, we're
Sounds
not
like we're
trying to
going-
kill anyone because 13 is
No.
a magic number.
Yes, that's why you just
Non-lethal force.
wallop their kneecaps. Yes.
Incapacitated.
So
Or knock
we're
them
trying
out.
to stop them from doing the long cuddle. Yes. Stop them.
Yes.
All the
No long
killing
cuddling in the
themselves, they're
village.
killing each other.
Okay. So no donkeys,
Not on
no
my watch.
dehydration. Don't flirt with them. Got it.
Not in that order, necessarily. Yes, onwards. Just fast travel. To the plot.
Thorn, Thorn, you find herbs to make whatever potion you want to. Whatever you want to. Okay?
Maybe not that aggressive.
Have
for
one
me,
bucket
maybe.
with one lot in, one bucket with another lot in, and if I mix them together, something will happen.
Something will
Two
happen. We'll
buckets.
Jesus
Yeah, yeah.
Christ.
What would you all like to do now?
Head back to the village.
Okay.
I want to,
so,
just as everybody's heading out, I want to be the last person to go out behind Aethelfrith. And just as she leaves, I grab her arm.
Yes, Sasana?
There's a lot of strange things that have happened over the past few days. And we're probably going to die. So can I ask you a question?
Of course. Though I hope we don't die.
And she looks down and her cheeks blush. She says, may I kiss you?
You may.
And then they have a kiss.
Aww. Where's the performance check?
Hey!
Roll to see how good this kiss is.
Okay.
Lady Alice at that would be like, you see, that's romance. That's beautiful. Isn't that lovely? Where's that from?
I-
There
I-
have been
Word.
3.
The father pokes his head in. The father pokes his head in real quick, and he's like, "Seeing as we're all about to die."
There have been 3 great kisses in this kingdom. You may remember one from a film known as The Princess Bride, but this is the true one to beat them all.
Yeah.
Let's go!
In the name of
As
the
you come
father,
outside.
And as we whatever soup I have left, I'm just pouring as we leave. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm gonna stop
As-
drinking this soup.
As you head outside, again, a wintry scene, apart from a single trail of green just shooting right through the forest.
Oh, that might help. A witchy fey path to the cursed village that I'm from.
Nobody
Oh, is that
ever
what
does.
she was talking about? Oh.
Okay, so you all head back to the village. Okay, are you running? Just going as quick as you can.
Going as quick as we can,
Running.
I imagine.
Hobbling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Careful not to spill my buckets.
You head back. Okay. It takes the majority of the day to head back. Okay, so you approach, and as you approach, you're on the outskirts of the village. You're in the forest line. As you see, an eerie still hangs over the scene. There's no wind, there's no animals, and there's no sound. Just an unnatural stillness. A single figure stands in the distance, still unmoving. 5 grotesque scarecrows decorate the frozen field before you.
I don't think those are scarecrows.
Would you like a closer look?
I want to squint real hard first and see if I can
Okay.
see who that figure is.
As you squint, you can see that each and every one of them is from the knight's party. The 3 knights, the priest, and the squire boy. Each and every one of them has been grotesquely displayed, almost like a crucifixion, but different, with kind of like jagged wood that would pierce through a thigh, up through the gut, and then out through the mouth. Their arms are splayed out on each side, where it's just piercing through the wrist. Each and every one of them is just as grotesque as the next. Everyone, could you roll a sanity check for me, please?
Yeah.
I could use one of my crits.
And at this
That's
point,
fair.
I'll mention,
Okay, I do
Tom, the Chaos Chorus did get us to our retweet goal, which means everyone loses an additional 1d6 of sanity.
Okay,
Yeah.
everyone roll a... Okay. So, who fails? Everyone roll a 1d6 anyway.
I
no,
succeed.
5. I succeeded.
I
Okay.
failed.
All right, so anyone who
crit, so
succeeded
I failed.
on this, roll lose 4 sanity. Everyone who failed, it's a bit unfair. We'll say 5 sanity.
So I am losing a total of 11 sanity,
Oh gosh.
just in case anyone's wondering. I'm at 28 sanity now.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm at 27. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, 20s.
Sanity buddies.
Fear
I'm
has
at 42.
gripped
It's the answer to everything.
Thorn and Lady Alice. This grotesque display before you, what you've just heard from Cassandra, this is all unnatural. This is all just wrong on so many levels. And you cannot move. You are frozen, and you stare and stare at the scarecrows. And as you stare, you see the eyes move and look at you. These men aren't quite dead. What would you like to do?
Hello.
We should leave them alive. If 13 bodies is what they need, we need to leave them alive.
Yep.
Come on.
Dead, but
I'm just going to start ushering them by the shoulders, just trying to get them to stop looking.
Thorn and Lady Alice aren't moving. You're going to have to either physically push them or leave them.
I'll lift one if
I'm gonna-
Sasana lifts the other.
Yeah, I'll take
I will
Alice.
grab, I will
take
grab
Thorn.
Lady Alice and be like, God will not forsake you today, Lady Alice.
Are we going away?
God
How
help
lovely.
you. And then my knees break as I fall.
Are you stealthing or are you just walking?
Just walking.
Just walking?
I can't. Yeah. No, we're just gonna.
I don't think I can stealth at this point.
Okay, so as you start to walk, going through the field, a bit awkward because you have to carry two and it's slowing you down. The heads of the scarecrows just follow you as their mouths are open. And as you get closer, you hear a very faint moan of pain as you walk past. Roll me another sanity check.
I'd like to use one of my crits on this one.
You got crits, guys. You could use them on sanity checks.
I am also going to use a crit.
Oh
on
yeah,
this.
I'll
Yeah,
use a crit.
same.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Not
gonna
that far,
save
man.
my last remaining.
Alright, I'm going to update the overlay. No one asked me to roll anything.
All right.
Okay.
Everyone who succeeded, loses 2 sanity. Just 2 sanity. As these grotesque scarecrows are just watching and watching. You move closer, and you see a single shadowy figure in the open. Still like a statue. Unmoving in the bitter chill of the wind. The trees gently sway in a musical breeze as 13 shadows appear in front of this motionless statue. Slowly, in unison, they approach you, step by step, until they all stand in a line. The figure finally moves and approaches the first shadow in line.
Can I identify the figure?
Roll me a spot hidden.
I would love to. Let me pull up my dice. No, I do not identify.
Okay,
the
you
figure.
can't. You don't. Anyone else can identify if they want. If they
Sure, let's give
want
it a
to.
whirl.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, that's a success.
Oh.
Oof,
Oh.
Lady Alice.
Success, Lady Alice.
Apparently so.
This figure that's standing in front. This is Bram, the village leader.
Oh, it's. But he. It's that fellow. What's his name? I'm literally the worst character to recall anything.
I recite
is
every NPC name that we come across.
No,
Yeah.
not
Lady
that one.
Alice.
It's
Yeah.
that one from the thing earlier.
Right.
Oh, that's yes.
You're the one that didn't want the church!
I mean, you're still far away, so unless you want to shout to him.
I will shout at him from. This is my not stealth voice, Tom!
Okay. So you hear Thorns just shout and bellow out that he turns, sees you, and quickly starts to move towards the first.
Oh shit! All right, Sana dumps Alice on the ground, and she's just like, fucking.
Hang on now.
She's like,
What are we
they're doing
doing?
something. Stop it! And she just
Okay.
takes off.
All
I'll
right.
follow.
Okay, so you start running, everyone. Okay, roll me a dex who's running for this.
I'll use a crit.
All right.
I will roll a success.
I got an
Okay.
extreme success.
Okay.
What do I have? 16?
I
Yeah.
failed. I think my
Lady
bucket
Alice.
caused a problem.
I'm
Well-
sufficiently motivated by herd mentality.
Yeah.
I've no idea why we're running. It's just nice. I feel healthy now.
Okay. As you start running, the scene is still eerily quiet. A gentle flicker of snowflakes dance in the joyous breeze around you. Soft blanket of snow covers everything. Trees, rocks, animals, all consumed by this thick layer of white. The 13 people, the only thing in this scene, the only blemishes in this scene, standing still. The 14th, Bram, steps up to the first. A flash of blinding light and chill carries on the breeze as the shadow slumps as he stabs or something you can't quite see because you're still too far away. And the body just drops to the floor. And then he quickly starts to move down the line. The wind, as the first one drops, the wind starts to pick up. The snow starts to swirl harder. Those who critted will be there now. What would you like to do?
I want to rugby tackle this motherfucker with the knife, get him to the ground. I want to just come in out of nowhere and just bam, bulldoze him.
All right. Roll me a. I guess it's a fighting brawl, right? I guess it'll be a fighting brawl.
Oh, alternatively.
Or
choose one of these bad boys.
All right, you want to attack him, do? All right. Well, he may get a crit. I'll save it.
Uh-oh.
Been there. I don't like it.
Yeah.
When I'm on the other side.
Okay. So he approaches the other one, and as you start pounding, running, you jump, rugby tackle him to the ground. The 12 now kind of move to one side as snow kicks up, and he rolls and he grunts, and you hold him down. You can quite clearly see he's got a dagger. A very weird shaped dagger in his hand, and he's just there, and he's just, let me go.
No.
Ethelfrith, you're there as well because you critted.
Extreme flex. Rolling
Ethelfrith.
pin to the rescue. Also, do I see my mum in this line of people?
I shall tell you who is here.
Please do.
You see Bray, his wife. She was the first one to die. His sons, Tam, Ron, and Marcus, are next. You see Mara, who was the wife of Fallon. You see Norris, who was the pig farmer. Kale and Tora, which was the tavern, and you see Hammond Rose, which was the blacksmith and his wife. And you see Bob, James, and your mother.
Mum! As I...
What have you been doing?
Basically. And then, I'm gonna rolling pin, so that, because there's 13 in a line, and Bram seems to be the one in charge here.
Mm-hmm.
So if we fuck up Bram, maybe the 13 will be off the hook. So rolling pin to at least Bram's like shoulder. Like I want to go for
okay,
like.
so you're gonna break a shoulder.
So we can't. Yeah. So we can't stab people. You can't stab people if you don't want.
Yeah, roll me a fighting brawl. Hell yeah.
With
advantage.
I've just realized that we're doing hot
Right.
bugs, but in like the Dark Ages, and Ethelfrith, all of the villagers are just in on it. Oh.
Yeah, that's a hard success.
All right,
on
do me
fighting
the
roll.
damage.
Oh, that's an extreme actually. 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
pretty
do me
good
the
at
damage.
that. All right, a d6, and then a d4 because I'm strong. So 4 from this.
Yeah, you
witchy
hear
roll
as
pen.
you crunch, you hear the shoulder pop and crunch. He goes, ah, 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 and he lets go of the dagger.
I know
He
me
has
mom's laughing
no-
on, but you're not stabbing her.
And everyone eventually then returns
Then I
in
look
front
at
of the
I
line.
give my mum the mum look.
As you look at your mum, she turns to Bram, and he has a sly smirk on his face, and he's like, "You can't stop this." And every single one of them goes to their throat with their nail and just tears into their throat, just ripping
Should've tackled me, Mum.
chunks and chunks out.
Right. Well, when it's my turn again, I'm gonna tackle first aid some people.
Okay. Before you do that, everyone has to roll a sanity check.
Yeah. Thankfully, it takes a while to rip your own throat out with your nails. Ooh, that's a
Hot
that's a
success.
fail.
It's a fail for me.
I
Okay.
probably should have used a crit. That's fine.
That's right. It's your mum. Ethelfrith just blinks like.
Those who failed will take 6 loss of sanity, and those who have succeeded will take 2 loss of sanity.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, this has fucked me up.
As
Succeed.
Aethelfrith, you are frozen to the spot. You just seen your mum do this. They've clawed, and as every one of them clawed, and they just start dropping, the wind picks up. Essentially the snow starts turning, and turning. It's kind of like a vortex of snow. One sec. Okay, yeah. Okay. So the ice storm continues to swirl viciously in a white tornado of death. The night sky, a penetrating darkness, suffocating the eye of the storm. An eerie stillness. As they clawed, they didn't make any noise, they just did it. Hangs in the air, a sharp contrast to the gale that is surrounding you. 13 bodies lay still on the snowy, frozen ground. Yeah, that's it. What would you like to do? Bram's still there on the floor, and he's closing his eyes. He's just breathing gently.
I'm gonna race to Bran because I need to hear his sins, because I need to know where the seal is, because by my count we got the wife of God, the son of God, the daughter of God, the father of God. Maybe, I don't know how it works. Maybe we can seal the seal and fix this, because God is almighty, all powerful. Run to Bran.
Okay,
I'm
Bram,
just holding
he's
him. I don't know
currently
what to do
under
to-
Sana. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's got his eyes closed and he's just breathing gently.
Tell us where the seal is, or I won't eat your sins and you shall go to hell, and it will be awful.
He
You better live.
smiles and he just looks up.
Sasana, help.
Yeah?
Question.
Yeah?
May I wipe that smile off his face with my rolling pin?
You absolutely can.
I'll hold his head up for you. I'm like teeing it up, right? Like,
You absolutely
Oh,
can.
romantic tag team face smashing.
Yeah. I would
It's nice that you think you can do
Would you like to
something
use a
together.
crit? Would you like to use
I
your
think
crit?
I would. Yeah.
Because I'm
think I would.
gonna tell you now there are no more rolls, okay? So feel free to use the crit. So roll your damage, then double it.
Okay. What do you want me to just roll double dice?
Just roll double dice, whatever one you want to do,
That's
and then
that sounds more
double it.
exciting. So 5 9
Double it.
18.
You're pissed off, okay? So you just cave this face in, and with each hit, the expression doesn't
I think
change.
it's just one big hit.
Yeah, it's sheer bliss as the thing, and it just splat, and just crimson just decorates over everyone. Around you is a tornado of ice and wind that seems to be cutting through everything. What would you all like to do?
we need to get shelter. We need to get inside.
I think the sail's been broken. Kick the snow. very pink snow, I imagine, at this point.
Doom is upon us.
I didn't even take my clothes off. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
We should go to the bakery. It'll be safe there. And we can bake little men, and we can make everything all right, and talk to God.
It wasn't safe in the bakery last time.
God is dead.
That's because the knights were still alive and they're grumpy.
What?
I think you might be right.
The Father Benedict the storm is still there, right?
Yeah, it's swirling all around you.
He moves towards it.
Oh, grabs his son's hand.
You move towards it, and you can feel it's icy cold. And if you go into this, it's going to cut, and it's going to bleed, and it will be incredibly painful and torturous.
I disrobe.
Okay.
And start walking towards it.
Okay, and you walk into the blizzard. Okay, what is anyone else doing?
I'm grabbing Aethelfrith, I'm grabbing Lady Alice, I'm grabbing Thorn, who seems to be having a bit of a crisis right now, and I'm just trying to get them somewhere safe. Try and get some shelter anywhere.
You grab them all, and you find a small shelter, like a small building that seems to be in pretty good condition. It was near the village. It wasn't in it. It was near the village.
Mm-hmm.
And you just head in there and you huddle down to
It's
try
the village
and...
scarecrow shed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you try and bypass and wait for the storm. Outside, the vicious storm rages across the bleak countryside as an unnaturally clear sky illuminates the chaos below. Gnarled, thick trees bend and sway under a deafening wind, concealing the screams of cracking limbs and tearing roots from the frozen ground. The landscape is covered in an icy hell, drowning in a white sea of snow. A tornado of razor-sharp ice and snow mercilessly cuts through wood, stone, and flesh alike, piercing like a sword through flesh, crumbling stone like the breaking of bread. Little crumbs scatter the land, the only remains of this deathly meal. At the center of this icy hellstorm, the Eye, silent now, peaceful, sheltered from the raging storm mere few steps away. Snowflakes gently dance in the breeze, and a blanket of soft, untouched snow decorates the scene. 13 mounds in a line lay still. 13 stars shine in the clear night sky. Father Benedictus, the blizzard cuts deep into your flesh, removing flesh from bone as it cuts deep. Pain, agony writhes through your body until you hear one voice. Release. How do you reply?
Father Benedictus, let's go.
You let go. And you are consumed by the storm. Almost done. Almost done. Epilogue. A single candle struggles against the oppressive darkness of this damp, cramped quarters. The only furniture, a solid oak table, stained with food, ink, and hopefully wine. A sturdy yet uncomfortable chair partners the table, which houses a pot of ink, quill, and paper. a single figure shifts awkwardly against the wall, a tongue moistening dry, cracked lips. Silent, apart from the dancing flame. Moments pass, until the gentle candle's performance is interrupted by the harsh, painful scraping of wood against stone. A large, heavy door screeches open. No one enters. The figure against the wall pauses, holds their breath. The stars have shone. Moments later, footsteps against stone, a gentle tap getting fainter and fainter until silent. The figure catches their breath, approaches the desk, sits, and opens a drawer, taking out a small ink pot, a stamp press, and a knife. A hand grasps around the blade, squeezing tighter and tighter until a steady stream of red, warm blood drips into the ink pot. The figure makes no noise. Once full, they take up the stamp and expertly press it into the pot. Stained with the warm fluid, the figure presses the stamp onto a piece of paper, revealing a red cross. And that is where we're going to end Pendragon's Parish. Sorry I went long.
Ooh.
Sorry, there was a lot to get through.
Wow.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry, I was hunting for the mute button. Alright, so a couple of things, because we did run long. I do want to say a massive thank you to Tom, because that wasn't too long. I overran by like 35 minutes yesterday, so don't worry about it. We do have Coriolis, however, coming up right after this show, so if you're looking for a sci-fi adventure inspired by Firefly, Farscape, and Pirates in Space, check that out. There was a kiss on the forehead last week that made me very excited, but there was a kiss in this game that tops them all. Let's go around, say hello and goodbye to the cast, and I want to tell you that we will be back here next week for a very special episode of Call of Cthulhu that I am dubbing Furthulu. Thank you, YouTube. Lindy.
Oh my goodness. Wow, a lot happened, and just a lot. Hope Sursana doesn't mind the apparent age. Apparently I'm way older than I thought. You know, it's cool. Age is just, a number in medieval times. I don't know. That was so much fun. We're just gonna glaze over everything. I got to beat some faces in, or a face in with my rolling pin. Mom died, not so great, but buns. Yeah. So find me online at Laugh Love Lindy, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I play a lot of games. You can check me. Just follow me on Twitter for what I'm doing when.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much to Susanna Grace.
Oh, we got the smooch. We got the smooch. Lincoln and I were like, we cannot end this campaign without getting the smooch. And I was like, I got you, boo. I will deliver. And I did deliver. The smooch happened, but oh my god, everything else happened. And oh, bit awkward. Got to punch a boy in the face though, so that's always a good day. I'm very happy about that. But you can catch me online everywhere at Susanna Grace. That's Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. I'm on there at Susanna Grace. The next time you'll see me online probably is tomorrow on Encounter for Dr. RPG at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Thursday you'll see me on twitch.tv/follow Black Hats for season 4 of After the Fire. We're back, and I'm very, very excited.
And we are super excited to hear it in Encounter Roleplay. We do have casting calls open over on the Discord. Go and check those out. I have guest seats for Game of Thrones. And I would like to confirm right now that in the summer season, we will have more Call of Cthulhu. And Will has readily volunteered to hop back into the keeper seat. But Amelia Tyler, will you be ready to be a victim in the next show?
Hell yeah. Every damn day. Every day. I would play with you lot every day if I could. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Tom. And I've really enjoyed playing this character. I never thought playing somebody who was quite this thick would be quite this much fun. I mean, she's pretty convinced at this stage that she kills everybody just by existing. Poor Lady Alice. But Bag of Dicks was fun. And I swear that wasn't an original concept for this character. But anyway, don't know when I'm going to be streaming again because my back is still a little bit dodgy. But if any of you were watching the Baldur's Gate 3 sneak peek the other day, you might have recognized my voice, and that's all I can say right now. But stuff will be going on. Catch me on Twitter as Amelia Tyler, and I'll tell you stuff when I can. ?
A slippery fish for you, Amelia Tyler.
Thank you.
And someone who has the best of fur familiars, as we have seen today, in a combination of pup cam and dad's face getting washed, Will Jones.
Yes, my wild shape form is my dog Olive. Yeah, no, I had a great time. Life's been a little crazy the past few weeks, but it's great to be here for the end, through all of the buckets, and get to go in the void and accept the void when I look back at it. So yeah, I'm very happy to get to do that. And I'm very excited to be heading back into Call of Cthulhu as the Keeper next season. I've had inordinate amounts of fun as a player here, so yeah, I'm excited to head back round the other side of the table and taunt Tom for all of the terrible things he's done to me this season. Again, the natural order reasserting itself as far as I can see. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, good luck. And yeah, Tom, hand over to you.
Thank you very much.
A massive thank you to Tom.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun writing it and doing it. I think I got had too much fun with the dream the kind of vision things. It went on a bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but I thought it was a good and important part of the story for the characters to know more about them. But it pretty much went the way I kind of hoped it was, apart from all the buns and stuff. But it was a lot of good fun. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I like these short seasons, where I can get into it. But I'm very happy to be a player again for next season, where Will can torment us so viciously. But yeah, I will be on After the Fire and Follow Black Cats on Thursday, 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern, where we start a new season of After the Fire. It's going to be great. And I start a new character. It's going to be great. But yeah, you can catch me on YouTube, on Twitter, Hotflakes Tom, that's where you can find me, or on Discord, and many places. But hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you all so much for joining us, whether you are live or on YouTube. If you've made it this far on YouTube, leave us a comment below that says, "Release me," and we will consider it under the terms of service of YouTube. Until next time, eat hot buns, count your buckets, and roll for sanity. We'll see you soon on Encounter Roleplay.
You bag of dicks.